think culture isn't one single thing or even a couple big things. Culture is about 100 little things that happen through the course of every day. And that's what makes culture unbreakable, and that's what makes culture so special, is that you can't put your finger on one or two or three things that happen. It's 100 things that happen every day. It's 100 little things that happen every day. It's about how the people interact with each other with common understanding and respect for each other and common objectives and goals, not just business goals, but also people goals and how we look at each other and how we want to work with each other and respect each other.
That culture has always been very important. I'm not saying it hasn't changed over time, but it's been always a forefront, a piece to continue to think about. You know, it's not just words on the wall. It is living it, it's breathing it, it's exhibiting it, it's, you know, showing it. And not only here in the office, in this function, but cross-functionally, and then as Takeda continues to become a global organization.
And it's, the word culture has become such a buzzword, you know, in even interviewing interns, right?
Yeah.
That's the question they all ask. What is the culture at Takeda? But do you really know what you're asking and what kind of answer you're hoping to get, right?
Yeah.
It seems like such a buzzword, even within our own organization, but I really do feel like we attempt to develop and nurture the culture that we've started, and it's not just a word for us.
We have in our group. Our group is, it's not small, but it feels small, I think, from a people perspective, because there's a lot of openness in our group, and there's a focus on people, there's a focus on performance, there's also a focus on having fun too, which I think it's like a work hard, play hard mentality in our group that really is at the core of what we do, and the focus is really people.
Maybe inviting families, you do have a sense of family, and then it kind of helps build trust, right? And then you can work together very collaboratively, again, another buzzword, but it's true, because I think you feel you're in a safer, environment to kind of come up with new ideas, and then trying to get through the next challenge, because there's new challenges every day, and that's the hard part,
Until you started asking these questions, it's hard for us to think exactly where our culture is, because we live it so much. We have to unwind and kind of step back and think about it. How did we get here? And it's not because it was dictated, it was because it evolved naturally and through.
What's next? Where do we need to go next on this journey? Because it is a journey. It's not a destination or one spot that you need to be in. It's going to move, and the culture will continue to evolve. But I think it's
Having a strong culture allows the team and the people to be great. A strong culture allows us to persevere during times of adversity. And even though we may think it's tough and it's dark and we're enduring so much change, if we didn't have such a strong culture, imagine what it would really be like.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's definitely top down, and that, again, Dennis kind of continues to hold the pole to say this is important. But it's also very organic or grassroots, and that the initiatives, the ideas, the things that we do day to day is everybody in the organization at all levels.
We're naturally pretty open people, I think, which helps. And we like to come into work and be who we are and not put a mask on and try and be somebody that we're not. So we don't want people coming in and wearing masks. We want people coming in and just being who they are. So
more like, all right, what's that next thing? Even what we're doing here, like, how do we push that culture just a little bit more to make sure that we either sustain what we have or maybe make it a little bit better, because we know it's the core of what we do. I mean, if you keep your culture in a really healthy place, I think you can accept everything else that comes. I mean, change is tough, work can be tough, the things that go on around us can be difficult to deal with, but if your culture is strong, it makes it a lot better, a lot more effective.
And then in terms of perseverance, we're really good in this area, I think, as a team. We are set upon by challenges constantly, and everyone just bands together even tighter
it happen. Like everybody talks about, oh yeah, we should do this or we should do that. Jen's the one that, we do it because Jen sets it up. I mean, the tables are out, the chili pots are out, I mean, everything is there because Jen makes it happen. So I don't know, I can't imagine just coming in every day, doing my job, going home and saying, well, that's how it is, it's work, I get paid, I'm not supposed to enjoy it. And you can separate the work and the people too. Like at the very least, there's days where sometimes I don't enjoy the work, but I always want to enjoy the people that I'm with.
I think one thing that we do is the Seth Talks. Today was a good example. We have our leadership. Jay gets up there and tells us things that are going on within the organization and company performance. And then within operations itself, it's an open forum. Everybody can kind of get together and ask questions, so it's very transparent.
But I know that we have a really, really wonderful, strong sense of covering for each other. I think a perfect example is, we have a teammate who has to go out on leave for a while, and we just all come together and set our roles aside and say, okay, what is it gonna take to get the job done?
Right.
And we all pitch in and we all do whatever we have to do, whether it's in our job description or not,
Yeah.
and it gets done.
Which I think is really, you're empowered to make a decision. You're gonna own that decision. You're gonna bear the consequences of that decision. It's not without risk, but I think by giving that, given the opportunity to make those decisions and make those choices, to be empowered to do so is important.
The home team events or quarterly offsites or the chili contest or the Seth Talks. You can go on and on. It really is an environment that creates the opportunity for people to interact and communicate with each other. And that ultimately breaks down the barriers. The second thing is trust, and I think the organization really places trust at a premium, and that creates a culture of empowerment. I think you see people engaged because of it. And then the last thing that really comes to mind is your integrity and how you go about your job is equally as important as the outcome itself.
You come here, you're here together so much and everything, it is fun. You gotta make it fun. It's not everyone has on the same page in that, but I think it's a fun place. So it's like family, and you're gonna have other times where you don't get along every day and you have your ups and downs, but like on a general basis, yeah, it's fun. It's fun. If it wasn't, the longevity of people being in this group, on the leave and everything, and getting along, you wouldn't have that.
The culture of work hard, play hard, you have a lot to do, but you are going to be recognized for it. And
I think a lot of us too, we've spent time with each other's families and stuff too, so even like we all kind of know each other even off campus a little bit.
We talked about kids too. We know each other's families. We're close, and I think we legitimately care about people being allowed or not allowed, but being themselves at work. Because once all of that's out of the way, then you can get on with what it is that you need to do during the day.
But again, something as simple as somebody walking by saying, hey, how's it going, or whatever. Wow, you recognize that I sit here? It's those things that are completely different at other places.
We laugh about it, but that being able to sit across the way from coworkers and just talk about whatever and laugh and build relationships, that isn't just outside of work, but that funnels in because now you've got a relationship with these people. You care about them, really, and it shows in the work.
It seems like, to have Dennis come by, hey, we're going to lunch, almost every time when he's here, he does that. And I think that says a lot.
But when we talk about culture being the foundation that allows us to persevere during times of change and adversity, I think this is testimony to that.
He allows you to talk about anything and everything. It doesn't even have to be about business. It's how's your family doing, or what have you been doing lately? So I just don't think that's part of corporate America, but it is part of Takeda.